Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov, Chag Chanukah Sameach, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Rolene Marks, bringing you the top stories from Israel and the region every Monday to Thursday on this very platform. And don't forget, you can also find us on YouTube, and all you have to do to get your daily headlines is simply click on the subscribe button. But we start off the week with some great news, and that is that the peace train keeps on traveling, and this time it is making journeys to Morocco and the Kingdom of Bhutan. It was announced on Thursday night that Morocco will become the latest country to normalize ties with the Jewish state. This is quite extraordinary, and this is something that has been welcomed by the many Israelis, in fact over 1 million, who can track their roots back to Morocco. And the foreign minister of Morocco spoke of the special relationship and special fondness that they have for Israel and the Jewish people. And we know that the King of Morocco has a specific fondness for the Jewish community. So it looks like this will be a warm peace, or according to Prime Minister Netanyahu, it will be a warm peace. We are expected to start direct flights between Morocco and Israel relatively soon, as well as open mutual embassies. And if it's anything like the peace that is happening between Israel and Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates, it will be great for business too. All the secret ties and business dealings that have been under the radar for many years can now be out in the open. And if that wasn't enough, it was announced on Saturday that the Himalayan Kingdom of Bhutan, a largely Buddhist country that is landlocked, that shares a border with India and China, they will become the latest country to establish formal ties with Israel. Now, why is this significant? First of all, the Kingdom of Bhutan has relatively low or no ties with other countries. In fact, the kingdom does not even have ties with the United States. But it is showing that, and it's really a morale win for the Israeli people, as it shows that the peace train is spreading not just to the Middle East, but to Africa with Morocco and the Sudan, and now to Asia. And of all the countries that Bhutan has decided to establish ties with, the tiny Jewish state has been one of them. And we're looking forward to increased cooperation between the two countries. Now, many people are speculating who will be next. And I know many of you out there are playing normalization bingo, and some have it that not only will Oman be a possibility, but also the Asian country of Indonesia, which has one of the largest Muslim populations in the world. So extraordinary things are happening, and as 2020 has been hafuch, as we say, or upside down, at least what has come out of this very tumultuous year is the extraordinary peace deals and normalization deals being signed between Israel and other countries. Now, while we're talking about deals, we have it from Jerusalem that the negotiators who are working on a possible prison swap between Hamas and Israel are making progress, and this is largely because of the COVID-19 epidemic and what it could mean for the people of Gaza. As many of you will be familiar, there are 2 civilians currently being held by Hamas, as well as the remains of fallen soldiers Hadar Golden and Orwan Shaul, who fell during Operation Protective Edge. And hopefully we can bring them back to their families, to their homes in Israel for a decent and respectful burial, and return the 2 civilians to their extremely worried families. And our final story stays amongst the Palestinians, and it's one that hasn't been picked up by the media. But this is the Israel Brief, and we promise to bring you news that the mainstream media might not cover. And that's a story that took place last week with the resignation of Hanan Ashrawi. Now, why does this make news, you ask? Well, Hanan Ashrawi, many of you will be familiar with. She has served as a spokesperson for the Palestinians on many mainstream networks And before her resignation, which she cited due to wanting reforms within the Palestinian government or infrastructure, that remains to be seen. She was also a senior member of the Palestinian or PLO executive, but she's also known for her radicalism and incitement. So do we believe her excuse or her reason that she wants reforming? Well, it remains to be seen, but we're going to watch this very closely. And remember, sometimes you will get news on the Israel Brief that you will not see in the mainstream media. But if you're also looking for good reading material, please look no further than our website. You can find us at www.layoftheland.online. We're also on Facebook at Lottle Site. If you haven't already joined our growing community, please do so. Please give us a like or a follow, share our content. We're also on Twitter. You can find us at Lay of the Land with the digit 5. That's Lay of the Land 5. And we know you've already subscribed to that YouTube channel. So from all of us at the Israel Brief and Lay of the Land, we wish you a safe and healthy rest of your day, and we'll chat to you tomorrow.